So it turns out controlling the box is quite a lot more complicated than it might have first appeared. But at least there are limits to how far down the multiverse you can travel. You mean like you can only reach worlds where another you was born into?
Just like Dr. Sam Beckett could only leap within his own lifetime.
Hey, Commander Fennec here, and as the journey across the multiverse begins, you know what's funny?
What?
Just last week, I was thinking, what would happen if they opened the box and Jason and Amanda discovered they were underwater or something?
And that's the first thing that happened this week. Maybe you too are controlling the box.
Thing is, they should have been screwed. You can't fight against the whole ocean, so as they did, they could only have closed the door once the box was totally flooded. But then, the infinite corridor is only in their mind. It's not a real thing, so it should have been bye-bye drowned Jason and Amanda.
Luckily, this is just entertainment, so the water somehow disappeared through the infinite corridor.
As it shouldn't have.
And after drying off, they were able to explore more worlds, hoping the next door will be the door home.
I find we're ahead of our protagonists once more, though.
In what way?
Well, unlike good Jason, we know exactly what evil Jason is doing.
Should we really keep calling him evil Jason? I mean, aside from ripping the other Jason from his world, he's not really doing anything that would be considered evil, is he?
Jason 1 and Jason 2? Let's give it a whirl. Okay, so we know what Jason 2 is doing, but Jason 1 doesn't. We learned that if there's two people in the box, both their thoughts will create the world they enter, but Jason 1 hasn't yet figured that out. My guess is Amanda's holding him back. Obviously, she doesn't want him to return home to his family because she wants a Jason of her own. How long do you think it's going to take for him to figure that out?
Well, we've got 4 more episodes to go, and if they can find Blair from Jason 2's universe, it's likely he can figure it out in that time.
Isn't it crazy Blair decided to settle on a devastated world?
Universe jumping must have been super traumatic for her if this was the best for her.
I've got many issues with that world, like how come those giant insects weren't in the facility when she got there, enabling her to fortify her position?
I'm more wondering where those insects come from, since you can only leap into worlds in which you already exist. Such creatures would have decimated humanity long ago. So no Blair, no Jason, no anyone.
Maybe they're genetically modified.
And was this part of the book, Mouse?
Do we really have to refer to the book at all times? Feels like this could become an unhelpful crutch, really. Plus, this is the first episode not written by Blair Crouch, the book's author, so why don't we explore it on its own merits?
Wise advice, Mouse.
I think the whole journey is for us to realize that Amanda's holding him back, as you said. I mean, he visits a pandemic world where his son is dead and he has to euthanize his wife.
Oh, that was brutal.
Although, there's a pandemic, right? They get stopped because they're outside. But then, after testing them for infection, the military just leaves them be? How likely is that?
Might explain why a non-airborne virus caused such devastation. That world's confinement protocols must be very lax.
And this is followed by another world where that Jason is in prison and super dangerous to his family.
I'm surprised that version of his family didn't move to a different house so that truly evil Jason variant couldn't find them.
But then we wouldn't have witnessed such a confrontation. I feel the rules Jason 2 told Layton about traveling through the multiverse are a little contrived, and it doesn't seem to match what we've already experienced. I mean, okay, we've mostly explored devastated worlds, but the one where there was this growly animal in the forest, how could a Jason have been born in such a place? I found the every serial number on banknotes is different in each world was also a convenient cop-out.
Jason 2 could have lied to Layton about that.
But even if it were true, then grab yourself some diamonds. Valuable, light, and untraceable.
Sounds like you've given this some thought.
I just remember Marathon Man.
I feel the rules are shaky at best, and Amanda's morality is pretty dubious. Like when she steals the car from that woman, I'm assuming her mother, who had a shrine to her dead Amanda.
And she just smirked thinking of that as they were driving off.
Bit creepy.
Oh, and it turns out you were wrong, Mouse. Jason 2 didn't make more brain juice. Yeah, that was confusing. Turns out what looks like a sphere in the case is a cylinder, and you can both inject it and drink it. And Jason 2 just casually stepped back into his world to grab some more.
And that made no sense. If you check back to the earlier episode when Jason 1 crawled into that world, he was met by a team within seconds. Whereas here, he had time to grab 2 backpacks, chat with the woman on duty, notice the blood from the finger-chopping moment, and disappeared through the box again.
And the blood was still fresh and hadn't been cleaned in at least 2 days.
2 days?
Well, Jason 1 and Amanda slept at least twice since the beginning of their box adventure. Once in the frozen world, and another after they're drowning.
And another thing, the box is supposed to be in the exact same location in each universe, right?
Still find it weird a box is present in each world, even if it wasn't built there.
How does that even work?
It's weird, I agree, but that's not the point I was making.
What about elevation? It's either a fixed point or it's not, and sometimes the box is on the ground, while others it's on the surface.
It's a very convenient elevation.
And now, we learn Jason 2 wants to seal his box to stop Jason 1 from walking through it.
Nice of that woman in the lab to give him all that intel about what happened when he just popped back to steal some more vials, eh?
A very convenient meeting.
Why couldn't Jason 2 find a universe where its Jason had been run over or killed by that taxi at the start of the story? Would have saved him a lot of bother.
It's not like Rick and Morty Mouse. Plus, he only had a set number of vials, remember?
And that incident was just a lucky event. You couldn't really have planned for that. And in all the multiverse, are you saying only one Jason successfully built a box? Shouldn't there be an infinity of Jason 2s traveling the multiverse, with an infinity of Jason 1s looking for the way back?
We're back in Rick and Morty territory, Mouse.
But shouldn't that be the case, though? Like, there could be a version of Jason 2 who had 2 sugars in his coffee instead of one day. Tiny variations ad infinitum.
Maybe we'll come across some.
Actually, we already did, when Layton stopped his Amanda and a Jason from escaping. Oh yeah, and Dawn shot Amanda.
And other Blair bringing all those murder insects into the world.
So really anything's possible. Like Layton from Jason 2's universe somehow finding them. I mean, since Jason 1 and Amanda found their Blair.
Funny we didn't catch up with him this time.
I think he likely died.
Well, that wager's still open if you're interested. And I can open another, so we can bet on how long it'll take before Jason 1 realizes Amanda's messing with the worlds he steps into. What if that was her plan all along when she made him escape through the box? Don't forget what Survivor Blade told her. Jason 1's got a family to go to. What's in it for her?